Hi everybody, I am here with my kids. I got Lizzie on the end who is 13, I've got Judy who is 8, I got Shelby who's 16, and I have Trey who is 15, and we went on a vacation to Walt Disney World, gosh, it's been a year ago now, in 2021, and Judy and I went again earlier this year, and so we're going to talk a little bit about some of the rides here at Epcot today. I always still call it the Epcot Center because that's what it was when I was growing up, but of course the name now is just Epcot. And it's one of the 4 parks at Walt Disney World, and when we talked, we did another video about what 2 parks, if you could only go to 2 parks in Walt Disney World, what 2 parks would you go to? And who said Epcot here? Trey did, Judy did, and I did. So 3 of us said Epcot would be the park that we would go to if you could only go to 2 parks. Why, Trey? Why did you choose Epcot? It's one of your favorite parks.
That has a lot to do. I feel like all the rides are kind of unique too, and you know, they're just really cool.
Okay, what about you, Judy?
I think I like it because like all the countries, you can like go see different like the cultures. Like you can go like to China and eat like Chinese food, or like go different places, just eat different foods, and just like I love all the rides. Like Trey said, there's a lot of stuff to do, like a lot of rides, a lot of places to go.
The reason I chose Epcot is one of my favorite parks, and we're going to go through and talk about each of the attractions in Epcot here in a second, but I like it because I feel like there's just so much to do there. I feel like there's no possible way to do everything in one day if you really wanted to take your time. The way Epcot is set up is they have a bunch of rides when you first get in, and then there's a big lake, and around the lake you have to walk all the way around it, or you can take a boat that takes you across the middle of it, but there's a different country around each located around the lake. I think there's 9 different countries, and there's things like there's China, there's Japan, there's Morocco, there's Canada, there's Norway, there's Mexico, there's England, and there's France, and they're all situated around there, so you can walk all the way around, and every single country there is some way you can learn about their culture. Now some countries have attractions, like in Mexico there's the 3 Caballeros attraction, in Norway there's the Frozen attraction, in France there's the Ratatouille attraction.
In Canada there's like a show.
There's a show, and everywhere there's usually places to eat where you can try kind of their type of food they serve there. And what I really liked, and they got away from this for a little bit during the COVID times, but I think they're doing it again, is they actually had people that were from each country that were working, cast members from each country were actually from those countries. In other words, someone working in Norway was actually from Norway, someone working in China was actually from China, so you can really get a good sense of the culture, the people, and things like that. It's really cool. I really enjoyed it for that reason. But let's start talking about some of the attractions there in Epcot. The first thing is Awesome Planet. That's something that we didn't do. I think it might have been down while we were there, but Awesome Planet is just it's kind of like a conservation type of show that talks about conserving things, about how to take care of our environment and things like that. I think it's about a 10-minute show or something on a big screen, like an IMAX type of screen. But again, we didn't go to that, and the one time I went to it by myself a couple years ago, it actually broke down in the middle of it, and again, I don't know how a film breaks down, but it did. Then we have Journey into Imagination with Figment. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, it's really fun. So you're trying to figure out what taste, smell, hearing, and touch is. So you're just trying to figure that out. So you're just continually going through this ride, figuring out what those are.
And I'll say this about Epcot. Epcot used to be, when I was a kid, an educational place where you'd go to learn things. It had the Land of Energy and the Land of Motion and things like that. And they've kind of gotten away from that and kind of dumbed it down a little bit, I feel like. But the Figment ride is one that survived from when I was a kid. So it's, like Judy said, it's kind of discovering taste and smell, and there's labs and scientists that are trying to teach you things. And Figment, of course, is a cute little pink or purple dragon. And one of the icons of Epcot. Anyone else remember much about the Figment ride?
After you get off Figment, there's like a lot of fun activities you can do. Like you can make your own Figment, and
that's called the ImagineWorks the What If Labs.
Yeah, it's like right after when you get out, you can do different activities like the piano or make your own Figment, like different fun activities.
Yeah. What about the ride though? You guys remember anything else about the ride that you liked? Did you like it? Not really like it? Was it kind of boring for teenagers? What would you guys say?
I don't really remember it as much as she does, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't really stand out too much, but I mean, I'll go on it. It's not like the worst ride to go on. So.
Right. I think it is geared probably more towards younger kids or their parents like me that aren't really necessarily as much thrill seekers, but more into the educational aspect of it. But the teenagers, they don't really remember it as much. It's not quite as exciting, and I get that. But the next thing we'll go to is living with the land. What do you guys think about living with the land?
I like it. If you like different like plants and stuff and animals, there's not much animals, but like you're technically on a boat. You're just looking at all these different plants. Like if you've never seen a sunflower, you're gonna see a sunflower. Like there's like different types of plants there, and also you can see different types of fish. There's some that are there. It's just really cool.
What do you think, Trey?
It was nice and relaxing, you know, it was a good vibe, and it was really cool.
It's a boat ride, so you get in a boat and then you go through and you look at some of the plants that they're growing there and they actually serve in their restaurants and things like that. But what was your take on it, Shelby?
I thought it was the most enjoyable ride there. It was
Really?
nice.
That's one of your favorite rides?
Yeah, it was my favorite
Okay.
one. It was nice and relaxing. You saw all these plants that were growing, and like Trey said, the vibe that it just gave off was like nice and calm and peaceful, and I really enjoyed it.
What about you, Lizzie?
Yeah, it was alright. It's the only thing that really stood out to me was the plants. The plants are really cool. It's not too exciting though, so you can get like a little bored. But I think it's okay. It's just cool to learn how they grow stuff and things like that. But it's like not my type of thing. So
Yeah, we actually, what we're looking at here is our ride charts that have all of the rides listed on there, and I have it written down on mine that was my favorite attraction at Epcot as well. So I'm with Shelby. I think this was awesome. I love looking at the plants, how they grow and things like that. But the next thing we'll talk about is the sea base.
Also,
Do you guys remember?
can I add something?
Yes,
with
go
this?
ahead.
Also, ride charts. What we usually do is like after each ride, we'll write down we'll make a tally mark like what we went on it. Just some ideas.
It keeps track of how many times we've gone on each ride. It's kind of just a fun tradition that we do every time, so we can see how many rides we went on. But going to the sea base, do you guys remember what the sea base was? It was basically like the aquarium where all the fish were and stuff like that swimming around.
Not really. I just remember there's like fish.
The
there.
sea base is in the Seas with Nemo and Friends building. So the Seas with Nemo and Friends is a clamshell ride, kind of like the Little Mermaid clamshell, but this time you're going to see Nemo and his friends. And we talked about this beforehand. We didn't really remember it as well as some of the other rides. Go ahead.
You're technically you're watching a screen, but also there's actually real fish that's swimming around in the tank too. But like you're technically watching Nemo and Friends, just like if you've seen the movie, it's the movie technically. Like you're just watching.
It's animated and things like that. But anything you guys want to add on in that whole building, the seas or sea base or anything like that?
It's got like different tanks where like with different fish. If like there's some eels, you can see eels, like different cool fish.
Yeah.
That you don't usually see.
yeah, I guess if you're into that, then go do it. But I'm honestly not really. But it's alright.
Lizzie's more into the rides than
Yeah.
seeing the animals.
I
maybe.
mean, yeah.
Okay. The other thing that was there that we didn't see was Turtle Talk with Crush. And that's actually one of our favorites at Disneyland, or California Adventure. We love Turtle Talk with Crush, and that's actually there as well, but it was closed when we were there. And then the other ride there is Soarin' Around the World. What do you guys think about Soarin'?
It's really fun. Like there's different. You can be like low, high, or high. I say if you're afraid of heights, then you might be a little afraid of it, but like it's really fun. So you're technically watching this big screen of nature. It's really cool. There's like different animals like to see.
And it feels like you're actually flying because you
Yeah.
go up, you sit in this thing, you go up, and then you watch the screen, and it feels like you're flying through like just different like places, and it's cool.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
What did you get? Do you guys get seasick? Do you guys get motion sickness on it, or?
Not really.
No.
Yeah. Okay. That's good.
There's too much detail for you to get too sick, and on the ride there's like scent beads that they throw out there. So
Yeah.
if you're
Going by the Taj Mahal, they have like
lilies and
flower. I think it's
yeah.
jasmine smell or something like that. But it's a fun ride. It's a simulator type of ride. The other thing I'll mention, we did mention Turtle Talk with Crush that we weren't able to go to, but Turtle Talk with Crush is an interactive audience type of show. So basically you're in a theater and you watch a screen, and basically the host will call on people from the audience, and you'll actually talk to Crush, and it's just hilarious. It's really funny. If you don't like being called on, maybe just duck down in your seat a little bit, but it's actually fun to watch the interaction between Crush and some of the other people in the audience. It's a really cool, cute show. We'll move on to the Future World East, and we're going to go to, now there's a ride there that none of us have been on yet. It's open now, but it wasn't open, they were building it while we were there. It's called Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, and from everything I've read, it's pretty cool. It is a thrill ride, so it may not be suited towards little kids, but anyway, we can't talk about it because we haven't been on it yet. There's Mission Space, and there's two different types of Mission Space. There's the orange and the green. What Mission Space? Trey, how would you describe Mission Space?
It's a simulator, and you get in this tiny area. If you're claustrophobic, maybe skip out on that because
It's a little tight.
It's a small space, and then you look through a window.
And the space you're looking through is pretty small, if I remember right. It's a little screen that you're looking through. Are you pushed forward a little bit when you're sitting down?
No,
or
you're not
are you
pushed
sitting
forward.
back?
You're sitting up.
Okay, you're sitting.
Because
Okay.
there's like a seat belt that goes over you like that, so you're technically sitting back.
Is that one's Mission Space Green, right?
Mission
It's
Space
straight around the
green
line.
and orange are the same, except
Oh.
orange, it spins you around, so you kind of have the feeling of weightlessness. Now, the only brave soul here that went on that one was Shelby. What did you think about the orange version of it? Wasn't too bad?
No, it wasn't too bad. I might have gotten like a little motion sickness on it, because that was like, they warned motion sick people to like not go, but I did it anyway, and I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun.
The premise of it is that you're blasting off in a rocket, I think, and you're kind of going over over the world, just basically out of the atmosphere, so you can look down through the screen and you can see some of Earth. And so that's kind of why in the orange version you get the feeling of weightlessness from being spun around, is because in theory you're actually in space looking down on Earth. So it's got some cool views, I think. And did you guys enjoy the attraction, Lizzie? Did you like it? Or
I mean, I got a little bored of it. It was just kind of, to me, it was just kind of sitting in this little room and then just watching a screen. Like,
Okay.
that was pretty much it for me.
What'd you
I
think?
think it's really fun. Just
You like
like
it?
yeah, it's because there's like an engineer, a pilot, different things like that. So it says, so like technically it tells you to do things. So you press a button. There's like buttons you press, and it says to press it.
Right.
And it's cool though.
Okay. Anyone else want to add anything else about those?
It was a good experience. It's unique, so like it's
Nothing you're gonna find at Disneyland, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. So let's try something new. Do it. Spaceship Earth. That Spaceship Earth is the iconic ball that you think of when you see Epcot. There's actually a ride, the big golf ball, Trey says. It's the iconic, it's a ride inside the icon. The ride actually goes inside of it. You go up a little track and down. It's a very slow moving ride. It's basically watching the progress of man throughout time. So it starts with like cavemen, progresses to the Romans, progresses. So it is a historical ride. It was there when I was a kid. Still a very educational ride. What did you guys think about it? Did you guys?
It's okay.
I really enjoyed it, and I'm not the type that's just gonna be like, oh, let's learn stuff, you know? But
Yeah.
it was actually, I feel like the thing that made it really stand out was it's inside the ball, for one, so it's like, you can get into the park and just like go through that. I really enjoyed it, actually.
That's cool. That surprises me as your dad. I did, because that's not your type of ride. So it's interesting to hear that you would like it.
It's okay. There's some other cool parts and stuff, but it's just okay for me.
What do you think,
It's
Shelbs?
I don't really remember too much, but I did enjoy it.
Okay. And
It was good. I enjoyed it too.
all right. We'll move on, and we will go to Test Track.
That one was
Test Track.
good. That one was really fun.
If you've been to Radiator Springs Racers in California Adventure, it is a very similar experience where you are in a car. Now, first you get to
make your
you
car.
get to design your own car inside, however you want it.
I don't know if it really impacts the.
It doesn't impact anything, but it's kind of fun to be able to design your own
It
car.
does though, and like the lighting, it'll shine a little on it. Then you can see a little bit, like the lighting on it.
Okay. So once you start racing, you go around a track at a pretty high speed. I don't know how fast you go exactly,
It's really
but
fun. Though. I like it.
and Judy likes this ride. She likes Test Track, but she does not like Radiator Springs Racers. And the difference is Test Track is more of a smooth track, but Radiator Springs Racers has kind of ups and downs, and it tickles her tummy, as she says, when she goes on the down parts in Radiator Springs Racers.
And it gets you a little bit of motion sick.
But Test Track is not like that. It's more of a smooth track going around and around. Did you guys all? How would you compare the two? Or did you like this ride? Or?
I think it's good, but I'm pretty sure it's like Test Track is like a little faster, but it's like it goes just like you said,
Smoother. What'd you think, Shelbs?
I don't really remember too much, but yeah, I remember liking it.
Lizzie?
I think it's okay. I do like Radiator Springs Racers better though, because it's like a story with like, and the music and all that stuff. But Test Track is a good ride. It's just, I mean, it is really good, so I can't say anything bad about it.
And Trey?
It was really good. It was really fun. It is closed if it rains, and it rained every day
Yeah.
we went to every park. So that was kind of annoying.
It was hard to get on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I'll say is they actually took Radiator Springs Racers from this one. This one was there before Radiator Springs Racers, so it's an older one. We're going to move on to the World Showcase, and again, World Showcase is where you walk all the way around the lagoon, the lake in the middle of it, and go to each country. The first thing you're going to come to is the Mexico Pavilion, I believe, and that has the Grand Fiesta Tour starring the Three Caballeros. It's in a big pyramid, and it's a boat ride where you see different scenes of animation on the walls and stuff like that.
It can be really funny though. Donald's in it. If you know who that is, it's a duck, but he's
Most
really
people know who Donald Duck is, I think.
Yeah, but it's really funny.
It is funny. To me, it really gives off Small World vibes. It's a lot like It's a Small World, very much. I think. What do you guys think?
You guys, you're just in a boat and you watch Donald try to do something. I don't even know, but he fails,
chaos.
and it's
chaos.
funny. And it's just like boat ride, and then it's over. But it's actually really enjoyable. So
Yeah. Did you guys like it? Okay, or
Yeah, it was
I
fun.
would say go on it if you have a chance. If you have a chance, it's really fun.
I have it down as my third favorite ride in all of Epcot, so I really enjoy that one all the time. Another one that's you're gonna walk around to see is you're gonna go in the middle of it is the American Heritage Gallery, and it's got like a movie that you can watch. Or no, is that the one with the presidents, or is that in Magic Kingdom? Remember with the presidents that they show?
That's a
Magic Kingdom. Never mind. That's in Magic Kingdom. But they do have the American Heritage Gallery and the American Adventure. There's actually a lot of cool shops there. It's halfway across around the pond, so that's a good one. Morocco was closed when we were there, so we didn't get to experience any of the food or anything there. There's no rides there. There is a Frozen Ever After is what it's called in Norway.
It's really cool to see though. It's like if you're into Frozen or like things like that. It's really cool, but like there's a couple of drops, but there's one drop that goes backwards, but it's not that big. But if you are scared of the big snow monster, he pushes you back into it when you go back to the big drop. Not big drop, but just a drop.
What did you think of it, Lizzie?
it's a good boat ride. I really enjoy the story. I mean, I like Frozen. And it's just a boat ride. You get to see everything, and then you go backwards on one of the drops. It's just really fun for me.
How about you, Shelbs?
The same. I really liked it. I enjoyed a lot of the Norway stuff in general because I'm into mythology, but yeah, I enjoyed the Frozen ride a lot too.
What were some of the other aspects of the whole Norway pavilion that you liked?
They had this little building where they kind of had like little plaques of the Norse gods and everything, like Loki and Thor and Freya and Frey and stuff like that. And so I liked reading those and looking at the art there. So
Awesome. And what about you, Trey?
I enjoyed the area. I didn't really like the ride because it was just Frozen. Frozen's kind of boring. But I like the Nordic place because I like that kind of era of Vikings, and I don't know if that's the same era.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, it's really well themed. The ride is really cool. In fact, I think I have it down as my second favorite ride. But it's good for people of all ages. You do go backwards, not real fast, not like Expedition Everest and Animal Kingdom, but you go backwards a little bit down a small, very small incline.
I say it's really fun.
we're gonna move on to what do we have next? There's a movie in China called Reflections of China. I don't think we did that one though, so we won't talk about that.
There's the Canada thing that
The
you
Canada show.
you sit in a room and then it just shows you what like video of Canada. Honestly, it wasn't that fun for me because it's just watching a video. But I mean, I don't know. You might have a different opinion about it.
It's a long video, and you technically are standing up, but you can sit down if you want to. It's just you're in this room, and all around is a video.
There's no seats in the room, and I think they actually tell you to stand up during the presentation. So I think you actually do have to stand up, but it's not too
But
long.
it
It's
might-
like, would you say 10 minutes or something like that? Maybe. Do you remember it much, you guys?
I remember it was cool because it's like cool. The landscape of Canada is cool.
Yeah.
It's really.
It was
cool to
pretty.
see.
Yeah, very picturesque. What did you think, Shelby?
I liked how it was like 360, so the screen is all around. Like Trey said, I like Canada, like the looks of Canada is very beautiful, so.
The other cool thing I thought about that whole area was there's waterfalls, there's rock formations that you can walk up to and stuff. So the Canada Pavilion is actually a really cool pavilion, I think.
It is.
It was enjoyable. The movie was okay. The one thing I want to talk about, which my older kids didn't get to experience, but Judy did, is Remy's Ratatouille Adventure in the France Pavilion. That's a new ride they opened, like almost been a year ago now. But
It's a good ride. It's like you like Ratatouille the movie. It's really fun. You can sit in you're sitting in a rat and you're just going around, and so you can go into the pantry, you try to steal food, get out, and you go under the stove where the heat goes on, so you have to get out and you try, and you can get a little wet though because he's mopping around and then it sprays you.
yeah. It's from the perspective of you're the rat, so you're really small compared to all the big things around you. But
It is you have to have glasses on too.
yeah, there's 3D glasses, very good, and it's trackless technology, kind of like the same thing in Rise of the Resistance. Basically, the mouse just kind of goes wherever on a trackless area. Cool ride, I think. It's one of my favorite ones there as well. And are we forgetting anything?
I think that's about all.
There is rumors of, there was going to be a Mary Poppins ride going in the England Pavilion, but I think that's been scrapped because of COVID. So, other than that, any other things you want to mention about Epcot, you guys?
No, I think that's about all.
I think that covers it. Your feet do get tired because there's a lot of walking in Epcot. You do have to do a lot of walking going around the whole pavilion, and I love walking, and my feet were tired after going around once. I think I actually went back another time because at each of the different pavilions, you can get a sticker with a card, and if you get every single card in every pavilion, from every pavilion, you can redeem it to get like a prize at the end. So it's kind of a fun little thing for collectors like myself, or for some kids that like to do it. But again, Epcot was one of my favorite parks, and I think it's one that you need at least a day, if not two, to do, but to see everything. But okay, well, thanks for watching our video on Epcot, and check out some of our other videos on Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom and Magic Kingdom. Thanks for watching.